Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of the MetaAbe podcast, and this one is a really special one. You know why, folks? Because the announcement we've all been waiting for, and no, it is not the one that you're thinking of. It's not KOF 15. It is not video or pictures, but Manchest and Hellpockets. What was announced today?
I believe it was a netcode update to King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited match on Steam only. Rollback netcode.
Yeah, from what I saw, I just saw people talking about there's back rolls in 2K2, which there's always been back rolls in 2K2.
Guard cancel back rolls.
Yeah, like
that's usually done by accident though.
Yeah.
Mashing.
Or execution. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, online rollback. Code Mystics.
We did it, guys. We did it. This is one of the big ones.
It is we've had so far Last Blade, Samurai Showdown V Special.
Mm-hmm.
Was there another one? Garo Mark of the Wolves.
97, Mark of the Wolves.
And now we're on 2K2 UM. And people are already upset that it's not 98.
Oh.
The point I want to bring up, you just mentioned the games prior to this. We were told that it's very easy to do on the Neo Geo games versus the Type X games being FE and 2K2 UM. So this is a good thing, but I think we were just told that. I don't think it was truth, because every 6 months, roughly 6 months, a new game comes out with rollback. Because first it was 97, then it was Sam Show, then it was Mark of the Wolves, then it was Last Blade, and now it's this. And it's roughly 6 months between each release. So here we are. We get 98 FE in 6 months, maybe?
Well, I really want to highlight how important this is. Like, this is a really big deal, especially because of what you just said. Yeah, what you just said about how it's a different platform, you know, and the fact that they're trying to pull it off. This means a lot for the future.
It basically, well, I'm going to say it, because you didn't bring me here just to agree with you and parrot what you said. So I'm going to say it. The fact that they're applying this to a title type X or title X type 2 or whatever, title type 2 board game, type X game, it means we could possibly apply this to 13.
I mean, so before we even get into that, I mean, that is important. And trust me, of all people here, it probably matters to me the most, right?
I'm sure.
I love that game, but I really do want to give praise to the fact that the 98 and 02 are two really big games in the community, right? And this is the first step into what could potentially be a big change in the future of SNK games, right? These are games that people have been asking for to get this type of treatment for a long time. We got 97. We got a slew of other games before this that people were requesting, but they weren't the most requested. And the fact that we're finally are able to shed some light, not even just shed some light, but get a whole beta going for rollback netcode and O2UM. I honestly, this is one of those things that I thought would never happen, and it's happening. And go ahead.
We were kind of led to believe that it wasn't going to happen.
Right. I mean,
like one of the big things.
That Code Mystics has been pretty, what's it called, transparent about a lot of shit too.
They have been. They've been way more transparent than SNK has ever been.
I think that's kind of what their position allows them to be, because they're not a part of SNK necessarily, so their method of operation is free to be what it's going to be, you know?
Yeah, because they mostly do talk about the development side, which is it's on them. It's part of their company. It's what they do. It's what they do with these franchises or these games. And I mean, I said it on Twitter. Code Mystics is definitely one of those companies that if you see that in the advert, that is a stamp of quality for netcode and has yet to not be true. as far as all the releases that they've had where they've had rollback netcode in it.
I'll go one step further and say that there's stamp quality on the quality of the port.
Yeah.
Very, very well done
Yeah.
in all cases.
I just think they're great guys.
Well, so much excitement for this new installment.
Yeah, this is like monumental, man.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is let's take a few steps back and let's go back to last week and the whole debacle that happened with no announcements for KOF 15, right? I think this is something really important to set up this episode, is to show where exactly the community was at just days before this announcement happened. And it wasn't in a good place, man. We're losing a lot of hope here, you know?
I feel like that's a constant thing for the KOF community, though. Like, there's always these big swaths of nothing in between big games, and the community is just left to decide, like, to fathom the fate of their favorite franchise, you know? It's happening with 15. It was kind of happening with 14 for a while, because the lull between 13 and 14 was like, we literally thought it was over, you know? Because like everybody was talking about how 13 put SNK in bankruptcy or in the red, basically. Like they were gonna just not even look at games anymore, and that's when a lot of Pachi slot shit started coming out of there. And then some people were mentioning this week that the wait between 13 arcade and 13 console was also a big black mark. I don't remember it that well because we had arcade cab in San Francisco, a couple of them, so we were just playing that until console came out. But I know a lot of people didn't have that, so for them they were just like, shit, like when's this game gonna be accessible to us?
Well, specifically, I know Desmond mentioned that on Twitter. Desmond shared his experience about the 13 arcade and console release. And dude, it's true, man. Even though we did have the cab out here, there was definitely dead silence for, Gibby, correct me if I'm wrong, it felt like over a year?
It was definitely over a year. It was from the moment the game was released.
Yeah.
Until the Evo 2011 announcement of like, oh hey, yeah, we're gonna be there with the console version. I was like, console version? What? But it was a pretty good chunk of time.
And here's the thing: things have changed, though. I mean, it's a very different company now, and I think ever since KOF 15 got announced, that is when this bill of silence has started. You haven't seen it since. You've heard mentions of it, of like, yeah, we're working on it, but really no confirmation that it even exists outside of a graphic of the title. And specifically for the KOF community, you know, I've paid attention to what's been going on over the past year or since it's been announced. And, you know, I actually do think, I want to give credit to the KOF community. I do think that they have been patient. I do think they've been optimistic. A lot of the stuff that they've been putting out has created a lot of faith in us. These ports, these rollback netcode ports with Last Blade and Mark of the Wolves recently have really instilled some belief, especially in me, right? And I actually forgot about it because of how bad this weekend went over for the community, because there was no mention of anything for KOF. And I feel like people did have a pretty big reaction to the Tokyo Game Show situation. Now, in hindsight, had they dropped this info during the week, I think we would have had an uproar similar to how we're having now, maybe even bigger. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not a marketing manager. I don't know these things. You know, maybe it was a great idea that they waited till the whole event was over just so that they could get all the shine to themselves with this announcement. That might be an effective thing, you know?
I do think if, like, the amount of things that were being shown at Tokyo Game Show and their magnitude, while, yes, I do enjoy that this is being made now and it's happening, it might have got lost in the middle of some of that, you know, with Capcom's announcement, with Bandai Namco's announcements.
Yeah.
Fucking Sega with VF6.
Oh, we don't know that, bro.
Possibly.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
know that.
you're
We know
definitely
King of Fighters Esports.
definitely making stuff up, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see no VF6.
I'm breaking NDA right now. VF6 is coming.
So I feel, I genuinely feel they should have announced it at Tokyo Game Show, along with like, hey, everybody, we know that you've been waiting for some information for King of Fighters 15.
Yeah.
Please be a little bit more patient with us. COVID has set us back a bit because that's
true
with all these companies.
Mm-hmm.
You just throw that out there. But in the meantime, here's something to hold you over: King of Fighters 2002 with Rollback. Yeah, and people will lose their mind. Like, it would have been much better than just like, hey, everybody, Samurai Showdown, Xbox, the new one. I forgot what it's called.
They didn't even announce that they would be doing that, though. Remember, there was absolutely no build up to any of this. They didn't say they were going to be there. They weren't on any list. It was just like, what the hell's going on with SNK at Tokyo Game Show 2020? No answers. All of a sudden, they're on Microsoft's showcase stream, talking about Samurai Showdown coming to Xbox Series X and S. And I'm like, oh, they are going to be there. And when you saw that, everybody immediately started losing their shit.
Like, in a positive or negative way?
In a positive way. They were just like, oh shit, it might go down. Like, they might actually announce something here. But people were just, but then the argument started. People were talking about, well, if they were going to announce it, wouldn't they have announced it with the Samurai Showdown stream?
Okay. Let me slow you down for a second, because there's something I want to know about this, your opinion on this. Yeah. So, and to make it clear. So you mean to tell me that people got excited not because Sam Show's on Xbox, but because the announcement of Sam Show be on Xbox could lead to another announcement of KOF?
Yes.
That's
that
crazy.
Was entirely the dialogue. That's how
yeah.
We're fever pitch at this point, man. Like, we are so blue-balled. People are making up scenarios in their heads about how SNK is going to play this. Some people were saying, oh, when Sony's showcase goes live, they're probably going to announce it. I don't think Sony was even there. I don't think Sony even had a showcase, but they were making up theories like that. And then somebody said, oh, well, when Tencent goes live, they're definitely going to have something for Tencent. I'm like, why? Why the fuck would they have anything for Tencent?
Yeah, I don't.
Because people just want to make shit up.
Because
people false hope.
Because they really want it to happen. So it's literally like this, man. It's like, we've been waiting outside of the restaurant, right? Somebody inside tells us, it's like, hey, you guys can't come in. You guys don't have any money. We ain't got nothing for you. But you know what? If you hang around a bit, we might give you some crumbs. And that was a year ago. We're still waiting for those crumbs. So when somebody takes out the trash on the backside, you know, we see some leftovers, and we kind of like make do with what we got, and you know, we do some sleuthing and some detective work, which a lot of it is us making up things in our heads. And
this used to be the marbling of a flame.
Exactly. Oh, whoa, they threw away the cast iron. What does that mean?
Just lick the pot, bro.
I could taste the fat on this. Must be KOF. They must be cooking up KOF in that kitchen. It's gotta be. I mean, right? Everybody looks at each other, right?
I mean, they basically told us there's a steak being made, and then a year later, we still haven't seen the steak. We're still stuck
boy. So speaking...
It's dry aging right now, right? Leave it alone.
That is a major assumption that I feel the community is definitely making, that they think a steak is getting made in there. Because I'll tell you what, we don't know what's actually getting made in there. It could be a lamb chop. It could be a casserole. We don't know. And here's the thing. To directly address the KOF 15 situation is, with the lack of info that we've gotten for the game, it is definitely setting the expectations astronomically high. And I feel like they need to find a way to gauge perception, you know, because right now it could be like, think about it this way. Let's just say, again, we're at the restaurant, right? And the chef's telling you, like, don't trip, bro. Just wait like 5 more hours. This is about to be the most legit steak you're going to have. We're slow cooking it, bro. It's going to be great, right? And then you get no word for 10 hours, right? We're fans. We're going to stick around. We're gonna see what happens. We're like, you know what?
We gotta go to work, man.
Yeah, exactly. Now we've waited the 10 hours, right? Nothing. Okay. People are leaving the restaurant. The shift's over, bro. Everybody went home. You know, the chef's gone. Still waiting outside, right? And then the next day, the chef comes in, and it's like, comes out the back. Hey guys, I got good news. I got good news, guys. we got a new item on the menu. It's pizza and it's delicious. Here you go. And we eat it up, baby. Because you know why? Because we love pizza. We love KOF. We love KOF O2UM. And we definitely love Rollback.
You forgot the part where we caught that motherfucker sneaking out the back trying to avoid us and then gave us like some French fries.
No, and then somebody in the community stopped us like, wait, guys, he's a human too. Let's not rag on his company right now.
Rag on him for the French fries. Let's let the man cook, right?
Come on, dude.
What about the guy that's in the kitchen coming outside telling people like, hey, I'm in the kitchen. The steak's coming.
Oh, that guy's the worst, bro. That guy's the worst. That's the same guy. Check this out. That's the same guy that's telling you, what's the big deal about rollback netcode, guys? What's
not that good? Overrated.
It's overrated. That's the guy.
Great, man.
That's the guy that's telling you there's still a steak getting cooked. Beware.
As long as it's protein, bro. Come on.
Oh, yeah. It's all the same, bro. Whew. So in that hefty metaphor, yeah, basically we've been hanging around waiting for some KOF 15 news. And I have to say, in my opinion, I'd like to hear your guys' opinion. In my opinion, they need to show something, man. We need some faith in the game. Now, they got lucky with this awesome announcement, right? But it's only going to be a matter of time before we get back onto this topic. Like, where is 15? You know, how do you guys, what are your guys' opinion on that? Do you think the same thing or something different?
I'll keep it 100, man. Like, I know there are people who are excited for this, myself included. You guys are interested, and you know, several other people that I've seen on Twitter. Yeah. But by and large, it pales in comparison to the overwhelming cry of where the hell is KOF 15's trailer? You know,
they bought some time.
Yeah, and you know, this definitely gives us some measure of I won't say distraction, because I don't think it's supposed to be a distraction. I think it's literally just, you know, what they've been doing, that they've been paying Code Mystics to do, and that's been working independently of what SNK as the main branch is, you know, doing. So that's just another part of the monster, you know, operating on its own. But there's definitely people out there saying, you know, hey, we got 2K2UM with rollback netcode. Now you owe SNK an apology. And I'm like, no, not at all.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm still on them like a fucking bulldog right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. It means a lot to me as a fan and somebody that's hopeful for the future of SNK, that these things are getting done. But do I feel it lets them off the hook for the way they've been handling KOF 15? No. And I feel like it's bordering, like, what's it called? It's bordering, not unfair, but like, come on, man.
Give these dudes, we want to give you our money, you know? Like,
I think it's just hard for us to fathom. Like, what is it, dude? Like, you guys can't show anything? No concept art, nothing? Maybe an update to the title graphic? Even that, maybe just an explanation.
Yeah. I personally feel SNK fucked up by showing that teaser.
Yeah.
Over a year ago. What has it been? 13 months? 14 months now?
Yeah.
And we haven't heard a single thing since, other than, hey, everybody, we're sorry. More info later. Yeah, I completely agree with both of you. If you're defending SNK saying, oh, hey, don't worry about 15, we got this.
Yeah.
Shut up. You should not be doing that. Don't defend. Like,
yeah.
I love the company. I love people within the company. They're great friends of mine. It doesn't change the fact that you shouldn't defend them for making a mistake.
Continuing to make a mistake. It's not like something that is gonna be fixed tomorrow. You know, they have every opportunity to communicate with us. It doesn't have to be a trailer like you guys have been saying. It could be straight up like, we need more time. We appreciate your patience, you know. But I think the only thing we've gotten, like you said, is like Oda added it to his Twitter handle, and you know, much love to Oda, and I'm sure he didn't do that as some kind of stopgap. I'm sure he just did that because he wants everybody to know they're working on KOF 15. But it's nothing, and it's not meant to be anything. People want real news, you know. And I was gonna say this is also coming off of the KOF 14 promotion monster. We don't have to get into that right away, but people have to understand that while SNK in the past has been fairly hands off with the community in terms of promoting games a year or two before it's ready to come out, 14 was totally different. They were just like constantly releasing footage almost every damn month. And while it didn't look the best, I really enjoyed the campaign. It kept you really engaged with the game up until release.
Yeah.
Whether or not that was a good idea because it didn't come out looking the best, that's a different story. But I don't think there was anything wrong with the campaign. And so you're coming off of that, and you're coming back into radio silence. And it's jarring as a fan, you know? Especially when you see everybody else in your spectrum getting shit all the fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, man. It's like I said, it is setting some pretty unrealistic expectations for a lot of the people that have been following this, a lot of the KOF fans. And I feel like it's putting some mounting pressure on the developers as well. And where I feel like it's not too difficult to let the air out of some of this, you know? And with some type of address or something, you know, I would have to think that SNK, somebody working over there, would have some type of notion that fans would feel a certain way about a Samurai Showdown announcement on the Xbox and that being it for Tokyo Game Show. You know, without any type of, even like, not even using the Twitter to be like, hey, listen, guys, I know we just made this announcement about Samurai Showdown, but keep your eyes peeled. We're working on KOF 15. You know, thank you for your support and something like that. Something that simple. You literally give nothing away. And I feel like it does a lot for the community.
Concept art, you know, stuff you're not even going to use. I think people would appreciate that too.
Well, they'd appreciate that, but words are probably the most important thing right now because it's like we said earlier, it's been radio silence.
Yeah.
They haven't acknowledged anything other than Oda saying, hey, just please be a bit more patient with us one time. I think that was during the developer conference.
Yes, and I wanted to bring that up as well because he literally said, we got something for you soon. And I'm like, all right, it's TGS time. That's literally soon.
Yeah.
Nothing? All right.
Well,
that's it. That's the
year.
year.
Remember, soon in development years is not soon in normal time. We still don't know how long they've been working on this game for. They could have shown us that logo last year before the game was even in full development.
Yeah.
Like, we really don't know how long it's been. Like, everyone theorized the game was going to come out late this year. Here we are. Sure, COVID hit, but there's absolutely no information. There's no way that game was coming out late this year.
Absolutely not.
So now we got to play under the assumption that it's going to be 100%. It's going to be a next-gen title, right?
Has to be at this point.
If it's PS4 in 2021, I think people will be happy about that, but that's still a weird gamble.
It's a weird gamble, and we don't know. Strive is coming out early next year, and I think it's PS5 as well. But you want to be one of the first fight games for a console?
Sure do.
You want to be one of the first in your genre to get on a console so people buy your game. Like, you know, if Strive is the first, people are going to buy Strive just because, like, oh, I want a fighting game on this new console I have.
And it's pretty.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what does KOF 15 have to offer that can possibly take the attention away from that?
What they've always had to offer. What they've always had to offer, Chris. Phenomenal gameplay. And that's why we're here. That's why we've been here over the years.
Amen.
I just wish other people that don't play King of Fighters can understand how phenomenal the gameplay is.
Yeah, anyways, people got to make money, though, you know? It's a business.
Yeah. Well, like, so you guys know me. I'm perfectly fine waiting. None of this bothers me personally.
Same.
I just want the game to come out, and I want it to be good. I hated how everything went with 14. Like, Chris, you said, like, oh, I enjoyed this. I thought that was dumb. They should never have released that initial trailer 14. You know how I wanted to never see Iori again because all I saw was his eye being compared a billion times throughout an entire year.
Oh, here's the thing. Here's the thing too, is I definitely realized that I can't listen to majority of the people in the community about how good a game looks. Because they were doing Jedi mind tricks on themselves, being like, you know what, guys, it actually looks pretty good. You know, they had that update where they updated the shaders, and it doesn't look that bad.
I wasn't excited for that, but I was also like, oh, it's better than nothing.
The thing I loved is when people were comparing trailers and getting confirmation that like, oh yeah, nothing really changed between the two.
Oh, dude, they kept showing that shot of Angel like repeatedly. And they were just like, look how different it looks each time.
That thong, I can see the fabric, the texture.
Wow,
yes.
Mesh, what? But yeah, like, I would rather they do the whole thing like, hey guys, here we are. Here's King of Fighters 15. This shit's coming out in 2 months. And everyone just flip their shit, lose their goddamn mind. We're going to have a closed beta test, next week.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all can test this online. Hopefully it has rollback and, play it from there and have fun. Like, that's what I want. I don't want what they did now, where it's like, hey, here's King of Fighters 15, and now here we are 14 months later, and we ain't got shit. Other than, I still don't think that's the real. That can't be the real logo for the game.
Same.
It has to be a placeholder.
Same.
This whole thing is a placeholder, man. Shit, like the announcement.
You know what this placeholder has done? It's held our attention for 14 months.
Oh my
and
God.
it has driven people crazy, and people are making up. There's this thing that people made up a few months back called what is SNK influencers, right?
Oh shit!
They made that shit up, and these people supposedly went into the office and played, and everybody believed it because that roster looks believable for a King of Fighters game. You fucking idiots! Any roster looks believable for a KOF game. Everyone's dumb.
I was wondering how you could believe someone went into the office in the middle of a pandemic, a global pandemic.
That's my favorite. And people were like, "Oh, Japan's doing better than we are here in the States." Bullshit. That was not true at that time. Everywhere was doing shitty. Shut the fuck up. Like it's infuriating seeing that. And what got me was being contacted by various people. Hey, are you the influencer? Are you doing this? Have I ever done anything stupid like this?
No.
Have I ever gone publicly and gone, hey, everybody, I'm an SNK influencer, and Ramon plays really well in this game. Oh, you should see Kaio Kusanagi. He's sick with the bodygas. They're great. Like, I hate leakers. I don't like information being leaked. And I can't stand people doing this shit. I get people want information, but leaking information, people don't understand how much money is lost when information is leaked. Yeah. And it's not because like, oh, hey, people know shit now. It's not that. It's that they put so much money into planning, into marketing, into video, into strategy, that all that goes down the shitter. Because you want to be the person that goes, oh, hey, I'm the one that leaked this information. I'm the reason you know the roster. Even though the roster is wrong, it's me. Haha. People are dumb. This is what they want. And then, I guess one of the leaks came from the person who leaked KOF 14 roster. And everyone's like, it's got to be real. It's got to be real. And I mean, it could be real, right? But I guess it had a picture of Shiva from Final Fantasy 15.
The fuck?
Yeah. The fuck?
And I was like, okay, cool. Whatever.
I remember that. Yeah, okay.
And again, the roster looked believable. It really did. But I guess if it is the final roster, cool, whatever. I guess Shiva was a place. I guess all like the images were just taken from different sources, and Shiva was a placeholder for, I don't know, Ice Boss maybe.
I can imagine like some dude in his room just like nefariously creating like a character select image and then putting it on social media, being like, "Hey guys, look what I brought."
Well, that's what people used to do back in the day. Like, oh hey everybody, look, here's fucking Capcom versus Kellogg's. Let's have some fun. And
that was funny though, right?
It was funny, but like there were things people would believe. Like you remember back in the day, fucking EGM, Game Pro, they would just put up fake shit and we all believed it because we were dumb and we wanted it. Nothing's changed. It's just that now things seem more believable because you can. Hey guys, I made this anonymous Reddit account because I don't want people knowing who I am. Kyo, Benimaru, Daimon, not a team anymore. Shingo actually has full control of his fire, and Shermie's still dead.
How many times have I read that Shingo has control of his fire? Like 14, 15, like
13.
13. Jesus Christ, dude. Was it in 12 also? I don't remember reading that.
People were saying that in 12. That was one of the things. Like the thing I loved about 12. I saw footage of 12. I think like 9 months before it was public, And it looked, I was like, oh shit, this looks fucking amazing.
And then it
And then
zoomed in.
people were leaking stuff or leaking stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, none of this is real. Why do these people believe it? God, and I'm like, idiots. And it's just, again, everyone's just so hungry for info. And it's never going to end. Like, just be patient. 15 will happen. It's going to come one of these days. Or maybe it's just, maybe it's, what do they call it? What was Duke Nukem Forever?
Vaporware?
Time to kill?
Vaporware. That's what it's called. Thank
you. That would be depressing.
Maybe Vaporware. And like, who knows? Maybe the next game coming out will be like Real Bout 3. That'll be sick. I'd much rather have something that's not KOF personally, but
that's the flagship.
Yeah, KOF needs to come out. They need to. So what they need to do going forward is King of Fighters 15. Let it live for about a year and a half, 2 years. Another series, and then let that series live a year and a half, 2 years. King of Fighters 16. Just alternate.
Yeah.
Or make KOF do what Tekken did. Tekken has what? This is the season 4 of Tekken now. 4 fucking years of Tekken 7. We ain't got no Tekken 8.
Don't need it.
Yeah.
No.
I think the issue is the flagship became basically what every other company would be similar to would be a versus game, right? Which we all know how difficult it is to make a versus game because it's already massive demand from the get-go. It's like, first of all, minimum, you got to have 30 to 40 characters off the bat. Otherwise, people are going to lose their shit because I need my teams. I need my characters because this is what the precedent for that game has started, especially for KOF. Like if you have, I mean... KOF 12 was a good example of like
shit.
Fuck, man. Like that is.
What is it?
I understand. Like people are not used to rosters that size, but it's like they're not gonna understand. It's like, well, you know, it's updated pixel art and it takes a while to create all this stuff or whatever. It's like we don't care. We've been playing games with a massive roster for years, and sure, it's because of technology and time and you know all these sprites have been drawn over the years. It's like, yeah, it allowed it to be possible. But when you're creating new things for a new game, it's going to take time. And KOF is not going to let you slide, or the KOF community is not going to let you slide with a small roster. No. You're going to have to come out swinging as far as that goes. And that is such an endeavor to have to accomplish off the bat, dude. It's like, well, first and foremost, one of the harder things to accomplish out the bat is we got to create all these damn characters, you know, let alone are they going to look great? Are the backgrounds going to look great? What's the gameplay going to be like? By the way, we need 40. Thanks. Figure it out.
Yikes.
So with that, this game on launch is not going to be 100% accepted by the community, no matter how great of a game it is.
Yeah.
The community will not accept it because why isn't Heavy D? This is gonna be me. I'm sorry. Why isn't Heavy D in this game? It's gonna be that. I don't like garbage. I'm sorry, Chris.
Whoa.
I don't like that the community is like this, and like every community is this way, right? Where my character's not in this. So what we have to hope for is its initial roster is large enough, maybe 30, 36 around there somewhere, 30 to 36. 10 to 12 teams,
hope,
maybe 2.
Yeah. You would hope on initial launch it wouldn't be that big. And
then they have to have consistent DLC. Look what they did DLC wise with Samurai Showdown, fucking brilliant. Look how many characters were added to the game DLC, and it's not a team based game. Like,
exactly.
You need to add more characters in a team-based game because, like, you just added 4 characters this year. Like, you remember how pissed off people were with just 4 characters? Like, first they were happy with 4 characters with 14, and then later it's like just 4. Where are the rest? Yeah, 4 every year wasn't the greatest either. Like, had they done like maybe 2-3 teams, like 6, 8 characters a year, that'd be nice. Be okay. Look at the treatment Capcom gets. Like, they're getting shat on for like, that's it? Only 2-3 DLC a year now? Tekken, same thing. Tekken just announced Kunomitsu, daughter of Kunomitsu.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? When's she coming out? Fall? When was the last character that came out? And I was like, March? February?
Oh, shit. Year's almost over.
Something like that. Yeah.
Is that Falcon? Was it the last one?
Yeah, he was the last character.
Yeah.
So, like, for a game, Tekken's roster is massive.
Yeah.
And KOF's roster is massive. Thing is, since KOF is a team-based game, people are going to expect more and want more. And KOF, unfortunately, for King of Fighters and just SNK in general, the majority of the fan base are hardcore fans.
Mm-hmm.
They demand this. They expect this, and when they don't get it, they won't pipe down. And there's just been a constant forever.
They're fanatics. It's a bunch of fanatics.
Yeah, that's
always
the
a
word.
character that's missing that makes somebody want to speak up about it.
Yeah,
constantly.
And like, it's always something dumb like, oh, what? Why isn't Geese in King of Fighters 13? So what? Like, he doesn't need to be in every game.
That's a good point. No, he needs to be in there. He needs to be in all of them.
Look, I agree with you, but
yeah, it's Geese, dude. It's Geese. They righted their wrongs, bro. He came out in Tekken 7 now.
They righted their wrongs in 14.
The worst example has to be Bao. They talk about why isn't Bao in this game? Right? It's like,
come on.
Bao is the worst character next to Kula. All right, just throwing that out there. I don't understand why people want these goddamn garbage characters in this game, but people got some strange tastes. All right.
It says a lot about them that they're really hankering for that. And I don't think I don't see the memes about Bao.
Oh,
keep my eye on those people, man.
That one's great. I actually really like that meme. The one where they just put Bao in everything.
I loved it. I hate that character, but that shit made me laugh.
Like, that shit's funny.
I like stupid shit as much as the next person.
The silhouette, it's fucking Bao.
You don't want Bao? You ain't getting shit. But guess what? See these 4 DLC characters? You got Mini Bao, Giant Bao, Mecha Bao, and all that shit.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it's what we have to hope is that, and I know this is not going to please a lot of people. We need to hope that SNK does not listen to the community and does not listen to the fans, and just put characters that they want in the game. Like Oda-san needs to put characters he feels fit well in this new engine, because I imagine it's going to be a new engine. He needs to do that instead of like listen to some dumbass saying, I want Genon in Samurai Showdown. For 3 years, some idiot's been saying that. No Genon. See? That's what you got to do. That's what they need to do and stick with it. Like, if they listen to the community, it's not going to work out right. It's just going to be like, oh, you put my character in here, but he plays like shit. Like, remember Rock in 14?
Inevitable.
Like, Rock in 14, people were happy and pissed off at the same time. Oh, wow, Rock looks so great. Oh, but he's so basic. Why is he so basic?
Yeah.
It's like you've never played him before, right?
Because Rock's another trash can garbage character. That's why.
I'm just going to point out, at least in that case, he was actually a little more advanced than I remember using him in CVS2 at least. Like, he had other shit. So I'm like...
Rock was probably like the easiest goddamn character to play, in my opinion.
He's so good. I mean, he's really good now, so...
There's one thing that I've been thinking about that I'm surprised... Actually, not surprised, seeing how KOF 14 went, is basically... KOF or SNK needs to have a game kind of similar to what they did with KOF, where they borrow a lot of assets, right? But the graphics haven't been that great, you know? So they haven't set up baseline to be able to carry those assets over to another game and be like, yeah, well, you know, we killed it with X game and the models look really good. Let's just carry that over into this game. Like, let's just say, if Haomaru comes out in the next KOF, they borrow the assets from Samurai Showdown, you know, and they could do stuff to make it look, make it fit in that engine a little bit better. But things like that would allow the process, the development process, to be a lot easier. I mean, that's how they achieved all these other KOF games. They just borrowed a lot of the sprites from older KOF games. You know, they built off of their history, and they really haven't had that opportunity to do that. Like, imagine if they bring over some of the models from KOF 14. It's going to be a dead giveaway, you know? It's going to be like how Marvel was or how CVS 2 was, where it's like, okay, you guys didn't redraw that one. that's ripped from Alpha.
God, I hope they don't do that, man. Like, I know the models in 14 with the proper shading look really good, but I don't know. Like, have they learned that yet? They might as well hire that girl from DeviantArt. Shit.
I don't know how 3D engines work, but can you transfer a character from one engine to a different engine? Like one for one?
If it's just the model, I don't see why not. It's just rigged. It's just a 3D rig. Like,
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking out of my ass, but I mean that
Yeah.
makes sense, right? Like,
That's why I don't want to say anything. I'm like, I want to speak out my ass. Like, well, yeah, I don't think they could do it. Well, why not? But because that's what's coming out my ass. Like that's that.
and then on top of that, it's in the Unreal Engine, right? So they've got to have some type of way to work within the engine. Again, assumption. I'm not a developer. None of us are. Not even close. I don't even know how to use Mugen, bro. So,
I just want to know what happened to the 13 assets, man.
I use Mugen and I use RPG Maker. I'm kind of a developer.
there you go.
There you go. You're the expert, man. Tell us what's
up. Well, I'll tell you what's up. They're gonna put me on the King of Fighters 15 project.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make it my game. It's gonna play like Mark of the Wolves mixed with Super Turbo, mixed with like KOF. It's gonna be sick.
Oh man, that game's gonna suck, dude.
Hell yeah.
Making you the KOF community manager then?
Oh yeah, it's official. You heard it here first, folks. Hellpockets just leaked it. I'm the King of Fighters community manager.
Leaked it with no apologies.
Which community? Which King of Fighters?
What's King of Fighters community?
The SoCal.
All right, I'm the SoCal KOF.
It's the only one that matters, baby.
I was gonna say there ain't really any other ones that.
We'll let you guys slide in. We'll let NorCal in. You know, we need the numbers.
Oh yeah, no.
Really? Do you want to let
we
NorCal
show up and we spend money, man. Don't worry.
It's true. Hey, dude, we need them at tournaments, man. We need to bolster those numbers.
We need to make ourselves look better by beating on them. You know.
Exactly that. That's how we.
One of your guys, I've never let you live it down.
That's how we prove a point. Now, what we do is to promote KOF is we send NorCal people over to the East Coast. The East Coast beats their ass, and then the East Coast thinks they're the shit, and then they're like. And then they're like, well, how much better could SoCal people be because NorCal people are trash? And then we have this big rivalry until they get smashed.
Fucking Gendy, man.
That's the
if
strat.
it makes you feel any better, one of our SoCal legends went out to the East Coast and got wrecked.
Oh, that's right. I believe
Wild Wallace.
Actually,
Yeah.
Wild Wallace.
Oh,
I was gonna say DJ Mirror, but I don't think he entered.
Mr. KOF.
Oh my god!
You don't remember? He went.
Went
like 1 and 2. I believe it was.
Yeah, like I think that was like a tournament he randomly decided to enter. Like, after
none of us knew he was going. And then I'm like, wait, this can't be him. It was him.
Oh, dude, I remember. I almost forgot. I was like, what tournament is he talking about? He definitely did do that. Yeah.
It's like seeing like the former like sports pro like playing a pickup game and looking like shit and just getting embarrassed by young kids.
But he kind of planned it. So he was sitting on the bleachers with like a robe on to disguise himself. He's like, man, wait till they get a load of me. I'm about to jump out of retirement and ball these youngsters up. Then gets on the court and gets
too small for him.
Gets on the court and gets worked. You know, he's trying his old moves. They don't work. Oh, the crossover. This will get him. Nope. Not this time, buddy. Let's try the fadeaway. What? Air ball. Damn.
Did y'all raise the rim?
Yeah. I mean, well, you know, the rim used to be a lot lower in my day. That's why it's off. I'm adjusted to a certain type of rim. Did this get the update? Are we playing on the updated one? Just checking, because I got to make sure. Like I said, totally different game. You guys understand, right?
The combos and shit, man. What the hell?
Yeah. It'd be like, John, you really thought you could just jump off the bench and play with the big boys? Yeah, actually, I did. Yeah. Well, no, I don't, and I feel like shit. Anyways, yeah, there's been a lot of news in the fighting game world, and you know what? A lot of us are in a position where we've been worked to the bone as far as our patience for netcode stuff on these games. I mean, I'm trying AWS stuff or cloud service stuff, and while it does work for like KOF 13, it's a pain in the ass, man. I'd rather not do it. You know?
I was gonna say, like, what you do is not something that it's not something that regular consumers generally do.
Right.
Know?
Right.
Like, if you want to play your buddies in a game, you usually just download the game and play the online mode. Mm-hmm. But what you're doing is not only going outside of the game, but it's actually requiring you to become educated in a couple of concepts,
bro,
that aren't really like, it's not consumer level shit.
Nah, dude, I'm telling you, it was a pain in the ass for me. I don't like stuff like this. Like, you guys know, like, how long it's taken me to do my own streams, do my own recordings. Like, I am not that dude that picks up on stuff like this. And going through the whole process of doing the cloud service stuff for KOF 13, bro, I'm telling you, if I did not love that game, I would not have done it. You know? If
that's what it's for the love of the game.
But I feel like that hurdle is so high for everybody else. You know, like, think about it. Like, somebody potentially getting into the game, it's like, oh, well, I got this other friend. He lives, like, I don't know, like 100 miles away. Let me just try this cloud shit. And then they try it out. They start, right? And they're like, you know what? Fuck this, man. I'm just going to play Street Fighter. Like, Tekken.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Tekken,
you know?
Street Fighter, them fighting herds.
You know, Power Rangers, Morphin Grid, whatever it's called.
Fucking
Battle for the Grid.
Yeah.
Fucking Skullgirls. Wait, no, not Skullgirls. So we can't play that no more.
So we're talking about games with good online that we're doing.
Yeah.
Or games with online.
So, Tekken 7, the latest announcement from
Yes.
Oh yeah. Spring
Tech
it up, yeah.
East Challenger event was the game is getting an update with. So, Harada's been insistent that the game has rollback, but everyone says bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's like, hey, rollback. This time we lowered the average frames or something like that. And Markman and Anakin were on the announcement show, or they came on afterwards after the announcement.
Mm-hmm.
They revealed that they're testing the game. Markman says it's playing Anakin from San Diego, California to Atlanta, Georgia, which is like maybe a 4.5-hour flight or something like that. Markman says like playing a person's right next to you. Anakin didn't hype it up that much. Said it's still online, but it is amazing. Markman says he can do things that he's never been able to do online in Tekken 7.
I'm about to be a Tekken player again. We're about to do this.
I was gonna like it gives me hope.
Yeah.
Hearing more and more, and I would love to be a part of this thing. Like, I just want to test the online, see how good it is. But hey, we're getting it in fall 2020, so in the next 2 months, right? Because we're in fall right now.
It's good thing I bought the game. It's a free update, right?
Yes, all their updates are free, but characters you need to pay for.
Sick.
So Kunamitsu, daughter of Kunamitsu, you got to pay for her.
Sorry, I don't like Kunamitsu anyway.
I don't really know anyone that does.
I think it's really hard for people to listen to a lot of the things that Harada says, simply because I never forgot how he said, you guys don't know how lag works. Like, that lag has to be there. Like, I never forgot that. So
I know what it does to me.
So when he says it's like there's rollback in there, I'm not saying there's not, but it's definitely not what we're talking about. Like, that's not how we know rollback. And
when you wake up, you can roll backwards. That's what we're talking about.
Roll sideways.
KOF people keep talking about.
You roll sideways, bro. I've done it. Get knocked down. Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that there are attempts to try to do this right. I am a bit worried, as far as, since we're talking about other video games or fighting games, I'm a bit worried about Guilty Gear.
Yeah,
that's the other rollback question mark.
And theirs, I believe, theirs is in house because
that's why I'm worried.
Zynek is working on it. Everyone speaks highly of him in terms of like what he can produce with rollback, so I have high hopes with that. But what we played wasn't rollback. What we played during that beta phase was like, that was probably worse than Samurai Showdowns.
That was
proprietary delay based.
Yeah, that was some delay based stuff, but it felt worse than any other Arxis thing that I played online.
Shit.
I would say I would give it
atrocious.
I would give it the same score that we gave Dragon Ball FighterZ when it came out. It was so bad.
Does anybody remember what Dragon Ball FighterZ was like during the betas?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. It was terrible.
Yeah, it just never seemed to get better, right?
I don't know. I stopped playing because it was terrible. Like, it was, it was that bad. You couldn't connect. Yeah.
That was also terrible.
That was the other issue with Guilty Gear.
Yep.
And then Guilty Gear did this thing where like, hey, here are these lobbies. They're different tiers for different levels. And then what it ended up doing was it had shadow lobbies where lobby 6, there was like maybe 4 to 10 of them.
Yeah.
And you and I were in the same lobby so many times, Abe. And you're like, I don't see you. I'm like, we're in the same lobby, but in different servers of that lobby.
You were like I'm wearing the pink underwear, bro. And I got the sunglasses on.
So what's weird about that, and what's weird about Dragon Ball FighterZ, what is ultimately weird about Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, is the fact that they're and GBVS. I don't know if Side Games told them or whatnot, but basically they dispensed with all the shit that didn't work in terms of how matchmaking happens in those games. Because remember, in Dragon Ball FighterZ, they tried to make it part of the experience, like a little bit too much, where you're like, oh, now you're in the world tournament arena, and so you wait for someone to queue up with you. You'd end up waiting for hours because that shit wasn't working right. And then if you wanted to spectate, forget about it. They just, and the way that worked too is like it would have you standing off to the side, and then when you started spectating, it would just move you an inch to the left, and just to indicate that you're spectating. And I'm just like, obviously this is only for beta guys. We're good, right? No.
Yeah.
Still works that way. Ring matches are still fucked up.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues that were really similar to Guilty Gear in that not only just Guilty Gear, man, you could even throw it back to Sam Show. We're talking about Sam Show again. Is like conceptually, like things were great, right? But in functionality, it's just things didn't work, you know? And I don't know as to what point is it. I mean, it has to be the programming side, and it's not really netcode. I don't know. There's so many things that are getting rolled into one with those situations. But if I were a video game company and I was making fighting games, my goal were to be like, make it function. You know? It's like, make me a really basic design and concept, and make it function. That's all I care about. Make it function. If I got to take stuff out to make it function, we'll do that. Because ultimately, that's all that really matters. Because most casual players that buy the game, I mean, they know going into multiplayer online that if you're not already somebody that's well-versed in fighting games, you're probably going to get wrecked. You know? I feel most people know that.
I just hope they just do something simple with KOF 15 if they do like with the lobbies and that, if they have lobbies.
Mm-hmm. The lobby system for 14 was fairly simple. I wish they didn't do the whole tournament single elimination like that. That's stuff because that confused people.
Yeah.
Just make one lobby where it's just one lobby with one line. You don't have to have multiple setups. Just make it simple, make it easy.
Yeah, people want to play on other setups. They can go open another lobby.
Yeah, they open their own goddamn lobby.
You know, and you don't need what was it? Like 12 people in there. You don't need that much. You need like maybe 6 or 8 at the most.
I think 10's a good number.
Well, we had the announcement. We are hopeful for KOF 14. So for you guys, as far as all the games that are available in the SNK library, going back to Code Mystics. By the way, I'd love to give Code Mystics a shout out. Like as we said earlier, the stamp of quality is when you have Code Mystics on your netcode. What is a game that you hope gets the next brush up on the netcode?
Next, I mean, FE, of course. But that seems to be like, it has to be the next game that's getting it. So I'll say Battle Coliseum.
We haven't even got a port though.
We have not, but I imagine that Code Mystics can build a port for it.
Oh, this is a proof of concept, is what you're saying again.
Yeah.
Because
the 3 Thomas Wave fighters was 11 Battle Coliseum and Neo Wave, right?
Yeah.
Proof of concept, you got to go with 11 or Battle Coliseum. Well, let's go with Battle Coliseum, something different, something that people love. Battle Coliseum had more wider appeal than any KOF game. Let's go with that. Because everyone, it may not be the best game, but it's
accessible.
It's not KOF. And again, I've said this plenty of times throughout the years. You need to release stuff that's not KOF to pull in people to the SNK games. Because look what Samurai Shodown did. Samurai Shodown pulled in people who've never touched an SNK game, and now they're all
SNK fans out of people who never talked about it before.
They went from Samurai Shodown to playing 2K2 98 Like the 2K2 online community right now is great. Even before this rollback thing, it's been doing great. Everybody's going crazy. They love it. They've got their own little Discord going on.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like seeing that. More of that for different games.
Learn the goddamn game. Shoot.
Yeah, and it's got a massive roster.
For me, I mean, I said it earlier. I it's not so much what I want, but I think they can do 13. I think 13 can be retooled, especially with it being Code Mystic's original effort. That's what got them on the map with us in the first place.
They did the port
For Steam, yeah.
KOF 13.
Yeah.
You sure?
Or didn't they?
No, that was in house. That was Jim and Jace.
I could have sworn I saw their logo on that shit.
That's how much you don't play this game, bro. Let's talk about games that you want to play.
I do want to play 13, man.
Well,
I mean, they're never going to do it. First of all, they're never going to do 11. I've been asking for 11 for years.
Let's talk about 11. You want 11, right?
I don't want to get my hopes up.
Oh my god, come on, man! This is the KOF community. We've been getting our hopes up for years.
Yeah, I was gonna say people got their hopes up for this game called King of Fighters 15, and look at where they're at right now.
I don't want to end up in that fucking stretcher. You know? I don't want to be in a straight jacket. You know.
Look, man.
Bouncing off the walls. All right, so
this is classic.
If they
Chris,
do make
tell
a port
us.
For 11, if they do allow
Yes,
Code Mystics to make a port for 11, I would like for them to give the rollback treatment to the netcode. Not only that, I want them to create a lobby system. I don't want just peer-to-peer matchmaking. I think peer-to-peer matchmaking, I mean, for proof of concept shit, yeah, it's fine. But at a certain point, are we going to start treating this like these games can have some kind of life outside of just rehashing them and making them accessible for people who don't like playing on bad netcode? Can we actually can we support the player base, the scene, by creating lobbies and spectator modes and whatnot? Because that would go a long way to increasing the longevity of these games' lifespan.
So that would have to be the next obvious evolution in the Code Mystics netcode that has yet to happen.
Yes. And while I love what they're doing with rollback, I'm not gonna like it's just like KOF 15. I love that they're doing this rollback update to 2K2 but I'm not off their ass yet. We still need lobbies.
Yeah, I think it's hard for a lot of people to not just take that and run with it because we haven't gotten a lot over the years. And you know, these are a lot of older games that are getting retooled. And the games that we've been asking for, they haven't gotten it. And the games that we've gotten have bad netcode or okay netcode or worse. Like the most recent one, Sam showed, it's worse. So I don't know, man. Right now, I feel like most of us are in the headspace of like, well, we'll take what we can get, and if it's good, we'll take it. That conversation does need to happen though for lobbies, because I agree as well. It's like it's getting us to the destination, or it's getting us to the dance, you know, but we can't participate. You know what I mean? Like, we have,
especially in the age of COVID pandemic, where basically we're all online. Everything we do requires a spectator mode. Otherwise, there's stuff you just can't get on tape unless everybody streams their own stuff or records their own stuff and sends all the footage to one central source, and then that person collates all of it and tries to create a timeline based off all those videos. You know, it's craziness.
There's ways to do it, but the thing is again, the ease of doing these things can deter a lot of people from really jumping on board with this game and giving it a chance. Like, I know this is why I wanted you to bring up 11, because I know people never got a chance to really play that game. That's one of those games that they've looked at and they would love to explore, but how the hell am I supposed to get good at that game? It's a very similar feeling that people had with 13 when they didn't release a console release. Well, it was only people who played the arcade. I was like, yeah, I'd love to play that game, but how do I play it? You know, even if there is an arcade, I play it by myself with nobody else because people don't go to play this game.
And the netcode sucked, and you're just like, whoa, I can't even play against people like a mile away.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And I feel like 11 is one of those games that people would love to explore. It looks like a fun game, to be honest with you.
Extremely fun game.
I've never played it. Well, I take that back. Obviously, I played it if you go to any arcade anywhere, because for whatever reason, KOF 11 was everywhere. I don't know why. I think we had this conversation already.
Yeah, Gibby, I think you had the official word on it. That is probably the most popular KOF game.
Before 13, KOF 11 was the biggest King of Fighters game ever.
Yeah.
Next to Maximum Impact, but that game doesn't count. It has a subtitle. It doesn't count. Okay. So the entire community, for the most part, loved it. And people from outside of the King of Fighters community loved it. Like, there were a bunch of Marvel players playing it because it's kind of very similar to Marvel. It's like SNK just stole the concept of like, hey, let's just do these tag things and then let's go. Mind you, SNK has had tag games before, but they didn't. This was the best. Like, I'm not a fan of KOF 11, but it's genuinely a good game that people wanted to play. And here we are. What is it? 13, 15 years later. I forgot when it came out. Nothing. I've been told by various people that they lost the source code for 11, but I've never heard this from SNK directly, so I don't know. Maybe I missed some interview that went up.
I think the closest thing we've gotten is that PS3, PS2 classic port. They ported the PS2 version to the PS3 library. You could download it there, but it's only on the Japanese PSN.
Yeah.
So
did that have online play as well?
I don't believe it did. No.
Okay, because they released CVS2 in the same way, and the CVS2 had online with like 3 additional frames of input delay or something like that.
Oh, fantastic!
Okay. Yeah.
Are you talking about the original release or the PS3 re-release?
The PS3 re-release.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't think that they did that. No one mentioned it, at least that I saw. And even if it did, I'm pretty sure it didn't get used because no one really knew about that. And they said, they did say that that version does have some input delay with it, just because it's on a different platform.
It's on PS3. Every game on PS3 has additional input delay.
Yeah.
No way.
That's another conversation, actually.
Every game on the PS3 is the best.
Yeah.
It was so easy to develop for.
With KOF 11, I forgot there's a Japanese Twitter account that's been breaking down frame data, hitboxes, and I like it because it's showing you like, oh hey, look, this jump attack has 3 different goddamn hitboxes depending on the type of jump, and everyone's like, oh my god, what? No way! It's like, yeah, you gotta work on the jumps, and jumping is very important in 11.
Yep. You better pick a good character with good jump attacks. They don't have to be that great on the ground, but they got some good air moves, and they're pretty much in there. You just pick Gato; he had everything.
So, I just really think for these updates, we need to have new offerings, a different experience, you know. And this is why I think like games like Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, KOF 11. I mean, they already released Mark of the Wolves and Last Blade. But that's why I think these games are important, you know, because they never, in my opinion, got a real chance to be explored by the community, the mass of the community. Like 13, and obviously for me, 13 is number 1. I want that to be the game that gets updated for me. But as for growth of the community, I feel like 11 and Neo Geo Battle Coliseum are really important. It's just such a different offering. Like, people have been playing KOF, like quote unquote KOF, the way that KOF plays for years, and it's you're gonna get more or less the same type of stuff over time, at least to the casual player. But KOF 11 is such a different game. Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, such a different game, and those are the types of games that'd be like, hey, wait a minute, this Humble Bundle that they got, or this Steam sale that they're always running. They have Samurai Showdown 5 Special. Let me try that out. Oh, let me try Last Blade. Dude, they're so cheap. Like it doesn't cost that much to give it a shot, you know? And it goes into it again, what you're saying, Chris, of the importance of lobbies. Imagine if those games had lobbies and people graduated or they went on a different path from KOF 11 to try Last Blade 2, to try Mark of the Wolves. You know, it's like, we're almost there, man. We're almost there. We haven't quite hit the summit yet. We're still climbing up the mountain, but we're seeing signs there's life up there, you know? And the thing is that we haven't been offered this quality of netcode from other games, right? How many times have they remade or packaged Street Fighter products and the netcode's not been that great, or it's been awful, you know?
Plenty.
Like, yeah, they've done it enough times. And these games are definitely, like you said, Gibby, going back to being a proof of concept. Code Mystics has been able to do that time and time again. And this is going to be a big hurdle because, like you said, it's a different platform that they're developing from. And it means a lot. It has very significant meaning that I didn't think about until you brought that up. That if they could do that with these games, then they could do it with other games like KOF 11 or Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, which to us, we've been talking about that for the longest, right? How come those games don't get released? You know? So, yeah. I mean, the future there's a lot of potential for the future of SNK games and SNK fans. KOF, you know, KOF 02UM, 98UM, Gibby, we had our run playing that game for quite some time, and I had a lot of fun, but ultimately the lack of lobbies and the connection not being so great, even though it's one of the better connections, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is.
It's what has had one of the better delay-based connections, but still, you know, it could be better. And it's nice to know that we're headed down a line where things are going to improve. But on the other end of that, for next gen and current gen, I don't know, man. We're sitting at that spot again. We don't know. But we'll take the positivity that's been coming our way and we'll keep moving forward. And I'm happy that KOF fans have something to look forward to. You know, it definitely changed the vibe around FGC Twitter for a while, or for today and last night. I mean, I got excited. I couldn't even sleep, and I was pretty much done. I went into work exhausted. And I'm sure it had the same effect to other people, you know. Now we're thinking about what can we do with this new netcode that's going to come about? What does it mean for the future? We have things to talk about. I mean, I set up this podcast because I was excited about it and I wanted to hear your guys' opinions, and I wanted the rest of the people to hear what you guys have to say. And hopefully we can do this a lot more because there's going to be more news, you know. I really, really hope that we get some type of morsel, like, to really cap this off, this podcast. My hopes, for me, is that within the next 2 to 3 months, something gets announced, man. It has to happen. Something has to get announced. My hopes are
image, man. I just want to still image.
They have okay. Back to the title thing. Have they even used it again since then? Like in any type of like advertisement or anything on Twitter?
Acknowledged it.
I mean, so officially, outside of that Evo announcement from 2019, King of Fighters 15 has not been mentioned. Outside of Oda saying, "Hey, just be patient with us," and that Twitter post of like, "Oh, it's being worked on." That's it.
And that's why it's just, and I think that's probably why everybody's probably mostly nervous, because it's not that it's been silent. It's just that it's almost like it doesn't exist. You know, you almost can't prove that it exists except for that teaser. That's it.
You know what I really think it is? To be 100% with you, what I really think it is? People are terrified we're getting another KOF 14. As far as like visuals and stuff like that. Like,
that's true.
I really think that's why we want to see it. Like, show it to us. Please, calm our nerves and show us something that looks gorgeous.
Well, you know, Abe, the last thing that SNK wants is for people to start voicing that thought on social media.
They don't, though. Here's the thing.
I think they're getting pretty close, though, man.
On Twitter, have you seen people bring that up?
They have not.
I haven't.
I know that people are getting frustrated and they're starting to turn the claws on SNK. So it's only a matter of time before somebody says, you know what, maybe they're making a stinker. You know? Maybe it looks like crap and they're not confident in it.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how fun the actual game had to be to create a new community, right? It says a lot about the game for 14 that despite that rollout that was pretty busted, it still held its own. But that's the frustrating part for us as KOF players in the community, because it's a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity where it could have been even bigger. You know, everything technically is in place for that game to succeed. The game's fun. It has a workable lobby. The netcode is better than a lot of other games. And there's a lot of personalities, especially now, streaming the game.
And they were just blitzing us with KOF 14 content when it first dropped.
Yeah.
You know, like we were getting trailers. We were getting special tournaments with notable fighting game luminaries showing up to compete. You know, like it had that kind of steam behind it, but people just couldn't get over the visuals. So we were like, we had every other thing working for us except for the most important part, or the part that we nailed the last time.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we have no idea what the gameplay is going to be like. To me, with fighting games, I feel like when you develop a fighting game, you get lucky when you get a good one. It feels like luck. Yeah, it feels like luck. And I feel like you have the base of whatever you created, and then you make it better. And what they did with 14, I have to applaud them. The game's really fun. A lot of people enjoyed it. It closed the gap between a lot of different KOF communities that 13 wasn't able to do. And, you know, had the game looked better, we would be in a different situation. I mean, dude, even at EVO, the game's awesome. Like watching the action and commentating, it's great. You know, all the other ingredients that needed to be there for it to succeed are there. Now we don't know. We could be missing the gameplay components. It could not be as fun. They could have changed something, you know. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely don't want to leave on a negative note, but I did want to bring those types of things up. And like I said, I'm hopeful because of this announcement of the netcode. I'm hopeful, and what I want is for some type of announcement. All right, you know what? Some acknowledgement of like, hey guys, yeah, we know there hasn't been anything that's been shown, and there will be something for you guys again. Just even if you have to repeat yourself, say something, some type of communication for KOF 15. And that's it, man. Just a little bit better communication. Maybe hire a new person or more people to be on the communication part of it if you have to. It is what it is, man. I mean, Gibby.
He's right here.
He's right here.
Right here.
Yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Hey, Oda-san, how you doing? My services are available to you. I love you. You're an amazing person.
Hey,
I'm an amazing person.
Do you love me, man?
We can do great work together. I know this community. This community likes me. I know what they want. I mean, not agreeing with it sometimes, but you know, I know what they want. We can give them what they want.
You can relay it.
Gibby, I asked you an important question though, man. Do you love me?
Oh, hell yeah, I love you.
Oh, thank God. Oh, that's how KOF fans felt. Right there. Didn't even hear me. I was like, oh wait, I need an affirmation, please.
Sorry, I was sitting here trying to serenade Oda-san, making sure that I get this. I mean,
I
I got to
you,
do some loving with Ogura-san and Kuroki-san as well, right?
I understand. Yeah, I get it.
Gotta hit them all up.
And being a part of this relationship, I understand.
I think they're open to it.
Any closing words for you guys? How you guys feel about the future and all that stuff?
Chris?
I'm positive. I don't think we're gonna get anything this year, but I'm positive from the overall outlook that 15 will come, and I'm gonna just think if it at least looks like Samurai Showdown, we're fine. You know.
I imagine it'll look better than Samurai Showdown. I want it to look different than Samurai Showdown personally.
That
Samurai
too.
Showdown is
Yeah.
Samurai Showdown. KOF is KOF.
agree.
All SNK games have their own unique personality to it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. I'm fine with no info. Doesn't bother me personally. I just want info so people will like just calm down a bit. That's all I want. I'm tired of seeing people complain, trash SNK, and they're taking years off of Oda-san's life just by complaining and just giving him shit. It's bad enough he has to deal with people like, where's the KOF 13 huh? Where's the
Oh
remake
yeah,
of this?
that's totally
Like,
gonna happen.
He's got to deal with that shit. Now he's got to
Yeah.
deal with this shit, and it sucks because I'm pretty sure them announcing the 15 trailer wasn't his, or them announcing 15 last year at Evo wasn't his idea because he knew what would happen.
Yeah.
He's the one that knows the timeline of this game because he's the one working on it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. Everything SNK related. I want to see what else they have in store outside of KOF 15. Like, well, didn't they say somewhere that a new Metal Slug is being worked on?
I hope it's not just that mobile game.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That mobile game came out, and then I heard nothing. So I'm hoping it's more than just that mobile game.
There's so many mobile games coming from SNK IPs right now. It's exactly what they said they were going to do. They wanted to revive all their properties, make big money off of them, and they did.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit!
With mobile games.
It just reminds me. Aren't they making a new movie?
Yes, they are making a KOF. Yeah. I don't know if it's got the same subtitle as the show, but it's basically a continuation of the show.
Oh baby, we're gonna have to review that.
Hell yeah!
When it comes out,
live review, man, live reactions.
Yeah, KOF Destiny was sick. If you guys didn't watch it, watch it. You'll be surprised.
I was surprised. It was pretty good.
All right, folks. So yeah, you guys out there, the audience, there is a lot of stuff to watch for KOF fans. Please check out Marco Polo does a stream on Twitch. He streams a lot of KOF 14 stuff. Rome streams a lot of different games. Andy OCR and Angela Pickles have been streaming a lot of KOF 13 stuff on Mondays. Same with Swagnarok. Get out there, man. There's people streaming your favorite games. Desmond as well. Desmond KOF.
Desmond and Ghost Pilot streaming.
Ghost Pilot.
UM and 98
Oh, he was already on it, bro. That's actually was pretty happy for him. Saying that's how he was really grinding away at that game and really representing that game on his channel.
Yeah, Desmond's probably put the most hours into streaming 2K2 UM.
Yeah, check out his Twitch channel as well. Check out ours. I'll be making a comeback to streaming something. Yeah, man. A lot of things going on. More episodes of the podcast. I got a whole series going on with Chris. We're reviewing High Score, the documentary that will come out soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I would like to thank my guests for being here. Thank you, Gibby. Thank you, Chris, for being here with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you guys are always welcome, and I always enjoy our conversations. So yeah, folks, if you like what you hear, like and subscribe, and please check out the other videos too, man. The other episodes, they're really good. I have a few reviews done, and the ones I did with Chris and Gibby by themselves are also really, really good. So I'll catch you guys later. You guys have a very good night. Enjoy that rollback netcode when it comes by.
I think that's October 1st.
October 1st, yes. The
open beta October 1st till, what is the 15th?
Yeah.
There you go. There's the info. Of course, that's why I got these guys on the show. I don't gotta bullshit that. Yeah. Anyways, you guys have a great night, great day, great morning, and have a good one, folks. Peace.